Chapter 1: The Storm. The blizzard came in fast, too fast for any normal mountain weather pattern. One moment the sky was clear, the next it was a wall of white swallowing the treeline. I barely made it back to my cabin before the wind howled like it wanted to peel the roof off. Snow hammered the windows, thick enough to block out the world entirely. I lived alone up here.
By choice.
After the accident, after losing my sister on that failed expedition, I needed the isolation. I told everyone I was writing a book about forgotten winter survival techniques. That part was technically true, but mostly I needed silence. A place where no one asked questions. Where guilt didn't stare me in the face. I had just stoked the fireplace when something slammed against the front porch. At first I thought it was a fallen branch. Then I heard the second impact, light controlled. A knock. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. No hiker would be out in this storm. No rescue team either. Cautious, heart pounding, I grabbed the metal poker from the fireplace and opened the door. She collapsed into my arms. A woman, tall, slender, with hair almost metallic in shine, pale as new snow. Her clothes were torn, her skin cut by something sharper than ice. And her eyes. God, her eyes were crimson. Not bloodshot, actually red. She looked up at me, shivering, and whispered something in a language I didn't know. Then she went limp. I dragged her inside, shutting the door behind us as the storm swallowed the porch again. My breath came hard. She wasn't human. Every instinct screamed that. But she needed help, and the storm would kill her in minutes. And maybe helping someone now could make up for the one person I hadn't saved. I laid her on the couch and built up the fire until warmth filled the room. That's when I saw the bite marks on her neck, not the kind a beast would leave. Perfect semicircles, too deliberate. And on her forearm, glowing faintly under the skin, was a pattern like shifting black veins. Whatever she was running from, it wasn't just the weather. And whatever she was now in my home. Chapter 2: The Virathi. She woke at dawn. The storm had slowed to a gentle snowfall, and I was half asleep in the rocking chair when her voice cut through the silence. You saved me. I sat up. Her accent was strange, soft, melodic, but precise. How are you feeling? I asked carefully. Alive. She blinked slowly. I did not expect that. She stood, moving with a grace that wasn't natural. Too balanced. Too fluid. Like every step was calculated for silence. Her eyes still glowed faintly in the dim cabin light. What happened to you? I asked. She hesitated. Do you know what a Virathi is? I shook my head. She exhaled, almost relieved. Good. Then perhaps you'll listen without fear. She lifted one hand. The shadows around her fingers deepened, literally darkened, then curled upward like smoke before dissolving. I am Virathi, she said. We are called vampires in some human legends. Not accurate, but not entirely false. A chill went through me. She continued. We do not drink blood. We feed on essence, life, energy. A touch, a breath, a brush of our shadow to yours. Most species react poorly to discovering this.
She paused.
I did not harm you. I swear it. My pulse thudded in my ears. I felt no pain, no weakness. She'd been unconscious most of the night anyway. What were you running from? I asked. Her face darkened. Hunters. A faction who believe my kind should be purged from the galaxy. I escaped my captors, but I was wounded. I felt the storm and descended, hoping to find an abandoned shelter. She looked at me. Instead, I found you. Her eyes lowered. And you saved me. I swallowed. Anyone would have. No, she said softly. Not anyone. There was something in her tone, something that hinted at centuries of betrayal. "Do you have a name?" I asked. She hesitated again. "Saruan." Humans shorten it to Saru. "Saru," I repeated. "I'm Nathan." She tried to smile. It didn't fully reach her eyes. "You have a beautiful home, Nathan," she said quietly. "I hope it is not in danger because of me." Danger. The words stayed with me the rest of the morning. Chapter 3. Hunters in the Snow. By afternoon, she was awake enough to walk around. I made soup and she watched with fascination, as if human cooking was alien to her. But something felt off. She kept glancing toward the windows, listening, waiting. Finally, she said, "They might come." "The hunters?" She nodded. "They track by residual essence signatures. Mine are faint after the storm, but not erased. And if they find you," her voice grew cold, "they will kill you first." A pit opened in my stomach. I wasn't a fighter. I wasn't a soldier. I had barely defended myself against grief. What chance did I have against extraterrestrial hunters? Sarah noticed my fear and stepped closer. "I don't want harm to come to you," she said softly. "I will leave if necessary." "No," the word escaped before I could think. "It's lethal outside. You're not healed." She studied me with those crimson eyes. "You are unusual, Nathan." "Why?" "Most humans I've met fear us. You choose care instead." I shrugged awkwardly. "Seems like you've had a rough time with humans." Her gaze flickered. Sadness, loneliness, centuries compressed into a breath. "You have no idea." Before I could ask more, she froze. Her eyes sharpened, pupils narrowing to slits. "They're close." My heart stopped. "Hunters?" "Yes." "How many?" "One." Her voice lowered. "A scout." "What do we do?" She touched my arm, her fingers ice cold. "You hide." "What about you?" Her expression hardened. "I will deal with them." "Deal with them?" I whispered. "Saru, you're injured." A shadow flared behind her, rising like dark wings. "I am Varathi," she said. "Injury does not make me helpless." Before I could argue, she stepped toward the door. Snowlight poured in as she opened it and vanished instantly into the storm, swallowed by shadow. I was alone. Minutes stretched like hours. Then, a thud, a muffled cry, silence. Finally, the door opened. Sarah stepped back in, a faint cut on her lip. "It's done." "Did you?" "No." She wiped the blood away. "He fled. But he will return with others." "How soon?" "Before sunset." We both looked at the storm outside. I had offered shelter. Now I had hours before a war arrived at my doorstep. Chapter 4. By Firelight. We barricaded the cabin as best we could. Sarah moved with silent efficiency, reinforcing doors, checking window seams, preparing defenses I didn't fully understand. "Your people," I said as we worked, "why are they hunted?" She sat by the fire, the flickering light reflecting in her crimson eyes. "We are ancient," she said, "older than your species. Some say we manipulate shadows. Others say we steal life. In truth, we absorb essence when we connect. It is mutual, not harmful." But fear twisted the truth. She traced the scars on her arm, the glowing ones. "These were placed by my captors," she said quietly, "to suppress my abilities. They weaken me. That is why I fell." I sat beside her. "I'm sorry." She looked at me, truly looked. "Do you always feel so deeply for strangers? Do you always expect strangers to abandon you?" Her breath caught. For the first time, she looked young, vulnerable. We sat in silence until she spoke again. "Nathan, humans often value connection, even when it hurts them." She tilted her head. Why did you help me? I hesitated. My sister, I said finally. I failed her. She died because of me. I swore if I ever had the chance to save someone again, I wouldn't hesitate. Saru's fingers brushed mine, light as falling ash. You carry grief, she whispered, but also strength. Then she pulled her hand back suddenly, eyes widening as if she'd touched a flame. I should not, she shook her head. Virathi touch carries meaning. I didn't intend. The door shook violently. We both turned. They had arrived. Chapter 5, The Hunters. The cabin door rattled a second time.
Boom, boom, boom.
Saru stood, shadows twisting up her arms like armor. Stay behind me, she whispered. The door splintered. A tall figure stepped through, humanoid, but encased in armor that shimmered blue-black like an insect's shell. A mask hid its face, but its voice was sharp and metallic. Virathi, it hissed. You cannot hide. Saru stepped forward. Leave this place. He has nothing to do with our conflict. The hunter glanced at me. Humans always get in the way. It lunged. Saru moved faster than my eyes could track, shadows flaring around her, intercepting the hunter mid-strike. They clashed like two storms colliding, shadows and steel, red eyes against cold armor. But she was still wounded. The hunter slammed her into the wall. She cried out, something I never thought she could do. Pain flickered across her face. My instinct screamed at me to run. Instead, I grabbed the fireplace poker and swung. The metal struck the hunter's mask with a sharp crack. The hunter stumbled. Saru seized the opening, shadows spiraling from her hands, wrapping around the hunter's limbs. With a sharp twist, she drove him to the ground. The armor flickered, then went still. She stood over the body, panting, trembling. It was over, or so I thought. Saru swayed and collapsed. I caught her before she hit the floor. Chapter 6, The Gift. Saru lay on the couch again, breathing shallow, skin pale as ash. Nathan, her voice was weak. I took too much damage. The suppressor marks drain me. I cannot heal fully. Tell me what you need. I knelt beside her. Anything. She looked at me with pain-filled eyes. There is one way. One dangerous way. Tell me. Her hand touched my chest, just above my heart. Essence. A sharing. It would not harm you, but it will change you.
Slightly.
It will bind us in a way humans do not fully understand. Bind us how? Her eyes flickered. Emotionally. Spiritually. You would feel connected. As I do. Connected. The word struck something deep inside me. What if I say no? I asked gently. Then I will die, she whispered. And the hunters will come again. I didn't hesitate. Do it. Saru closed her eyes and leaned forward, placing her forehead against mine. Shadows wrapped around us, warm, not cold, like velvet darkness. I felt a pull, not draining but merging. Her pain, her memories, her isolation, and beneath it, buried deep, her hope. Her voice whispered inside my mind, Nathan, thank you. When the shadows faded, we both gasped. I felt no weakness. Instead, warmth pulsed through my veins, a faint echo of her essence. Saru sat up slowly, strength returning to her limbs. You gave freely, she whispered. Humans rarely do that. You're alive, I said. That's all that matters. She stared at me for a long time. Then, unexpectedly, she smiled. Not a forced gesture, but gentle.
Real.
There is something I must give you, she said softly. A gift. You already did. No, she shook her head. This one will change your path. She lifted my hand, turning my palm upward. A shadow glowed faintly. You now carry a fragment of Arathi essence, she said. In time, it will grant you instinctual awareness, a sense of danger, the ability to read emotions, and longevity. How much longevity? I whispered. Twice your natural lifespan. My throat tightened. Why would you do that for me? Her voice trembled. Because you saved me not out of fear, but kindness. No one has done that for a Varathi in centuries. I swallowed hard. Saru. She leaned closer. Her crimson eyes softened, and her hand cupped my cheek. You are unlike any human I have ever met. Before I could respond, a distant rumble echoed from the forest. More hunters. Many. Saru stood. It is time for me to go. Chapter 7. Goodbye in the snow. You can't leave, I said. They'll kill you. She shook her head. Not anymore. The essence sharing has restored my power fully, and they will not dare attack a Varathi at full strength. I stepped in front of her.
Then stay.
Stay until it's safe. Her expression softened painfully. Nathan, after our connection, staying would not be safe. For you? For you. She touched my chest again. If I remain, others will sense our bond. They will assume you are my consort, and they will come for you. My pulse quickened. Then take me with you. She froze. Emotion flashed through her eyes. Alarm, longing, fear. Nathan, the galaxy is cruel to humans. You would not survive long among my kind. I'd rather face danger with you than stay here alone. Her breath shuddered. For the first time, the immortal Varathi warrior looked like someone torn apart inside. Nathan, if I take you, our bond will deepen. It will mean, she swallowed. It will mean you are mine and I am yours. Forever. I'm okay with that, I said softly. Her eyes closed. A single tear, dark as ink, slipped down her cheek. You do not understand what forever means to my species. Explain it to me. She stepped closer, pressing her forehead to mine. Forever means your essence will echo with mine beyond death. It means your emotions affect my strength. It means if you love another, I will feel it as pain. My voice cracked. Saru, I don't want anyone else. She trembled. Her fingers curled into my shirt. Nathan, you're human. You feel deeply. You love easily. And she choked on the words. I cannot risk giving you immortality built on suffering. She kissed my forehead, barely a touch, but filled with everything she couldn't say aloud. I must go. Saru. She stepped back. Shadows wrapped around her like wings. Remember me, she whispered. And then she vanished, dissolving into darkness that melted into the falling snow. Silence fell. The hunter's distant presence faded. And I stood alone in my cabin doorway, the storm clearing into a crisp, star-filled night. Chapter 8. The Unexpected Gift. Weeks passed. The mountains thawed. Life returned to normal almost. But every now and then, I sensed things I shouldn't. A branch snapping a mile away. The emotional tension of a passing hiker. The subtle shift in atmosphere before a storm. Her essence. Her gift. One evening at sunset, as the sky bled orange, I stepped onto the porch and saw something half buried in the snow where she first collapsed. A small, metallic shard, smooth, etched with Varathi symbols. I picked it up, and it pulsed gently in my hand. A message. I held it against my chest. The shard warmed, glowing softly before projecting a faint hologram. Saru appeared, faint, translucent, beautiful. Nathan, her recorded voice whispered. You were right. I should not have left without telling you something. My throat tightened. You did more than save my life. You reminded me of something my kind lost centuries ago. Her image leaned closer, eyes soft. Hope. She smiled, small, but radiant. If you ever wish to find me, follow the stars west. There is a beacon only you will feel. I will sense your approach. The hologram flickered. And Nathan, the bond we share means one truth cannot be hidden. She paused. I care for you. More deeply than I had time to admit. The hologram faded. I stood there, breath shaking, heart pounding in my chest. Her gift wasn't immortality, wasn't power, wasn't protection. It was a path,
A choice.
a future. Somewhere out there, beneath alien skies, a Varathi woman waited, hoping I would come. I closed my hand around the shard. I'll find you, I whispered. And in the quiet mountain evening, with shadows stretching long across the snow, I felt the faintest pulse of warmth in my chest. A heartbeat not entirely my own.